Conspicuity tape. In 1967, Hollywood star Jane Mansfield died when her car slammed into the back of a dark trailer. That crash inspired the Mansfield Bar, a guardrail to stop cars from sliding underneath. But one danger remained: visibility. By the 1980s, rear-end crashes with trucks were still rising. Reflective tape existed, but without rules. Some trailers had it, some didn't, and placement was inconsistent. Drivers often never saw the trucks until it was too late. In 1992, the NHTSA stepped in. They mandated a simple fix: standardized red and white reflective tape on all large trucks. Studies later showed it cut nighttime collisions dramatically. Today, those glowing stripes are a direct legacy of tragedy, turning darkness into light that saves lives. Airbag warning light. The airbag, meant to save lives, once killed trust. In the 1980s and 90s, some failed to deploy. Some malfunctioned. People died expecting protection that never came. The lawsuits piled up. Regulators stepped in. And one of the simplest fixes was the airbag warning light. A tiny dashboard icon that tells you when the system is broken, so you can fix it before the moment of truth. Most drivers ignore it, but it's more than a symbol. It could be the line between making it home or never coming back. Speed bumps. Drivers hate them. Bumps that jolt the car, spill your coffee, and slow you down for no reason, or so it seems. But speed bumps were born out of tragedy. In the 1950s in Michigan, children were hit by cars speeding near schools. City engineers tried something bold: raise the road itself, a hump that forced drivers to slow down whether they wanted to or not. It worked. Accidents around schools dropped sharply. Soon the idea spread worldwide. In the UK, people even gave them a nickname: sleeping policemen, because they acted like traffic cops lying across the road, making sure no one sped past too fast. Crash cushions. They look strange: big yellow barrels or steel frames at the end of a highway divider. Most drivers don't even notice that, but they're there for one reason: to take the hit for you. Decades ago, drivers who lost control often slammed into the blunt end of concrete barriers, bridge supports, or exit dividers. The result was almost always fatal. Cars crumpled instantly. Passengers didn't stand a chance. Engineers designed a solution: the crash cushion, also called an impact attenuator. Instead of being solid, these barriers are built to collapse in stages, using sand barrels, steel cartridges, or accordion-like metal. When a car hits, the cushion absorbs and redirects the energy, slowing the vehicle down gradually instead of stopping it dead. Tactile paving, tenji blocks. Imagine walking blind through a busy city. No signs, no lights, no warnings. Just your cane and your feet on the ground. Every step feels like a gamble. Will you cross safely or step straight into danger? In the 1960s, Japanese engineer Seiichi Miyake decided to change that. He invented tenji blocks, tactile paving designed for people with visual impairments. Long raised bars meant walk straight, while raised dots meant stop or be careful. With just a cane or a step, the road itself spoke to the blind. Japan quickly made them a standard. Later, the ISO recognized them globally. From Tokyo to New York, London to the Louvre in Paris, those yellow bumps became a universal sidewalk language. Of course, if you have normal eyesight, this might seem unnecessary. But imagine one day you're driving carefully and suddenly a blind pedestrian steps into your path. Does it feel more important now? Breakaway signposts. Sure, if your vision is perfect, you might think roadside signposts are harmless, just background furniture along the highway. But imagine driving carefully, losing control for a split second, and hitting one made of solid steel or concrete. The pole doesn't move. Your car does, crumpling instantly, crushing everyone inside. That was reality for decades. Rigid signposts turned minor accidents into fatal tragedies. The solution? Breakaway bases. Engineers redesigned signposts with special weak points at the bottom. When hit, they snap or bend away, absorbing impact instead of resisting it. The FHWA in the US made them a requirement, written into the MUTCD guidelines for clear zones along roads. Rumble strips. They smooth the asphalt to perfection, then cut grooves into it, or paint thick ridges across it. Why ruin a perfect road? Because those grooves are rumble strips. On long highways, one of the deadliest killers is drowsy driving. Cars drift out of their lanes, crash, and lives are lost. There are two main types: milled strips, grooves carved into the pavement that shake the car and roar under the tires. Raised strips, thick ridges of paint or rubber that do the same, while also reflecting headlights at night. Both work on the same principle: jolt the driver awake before disaster. The FHWA proved they slash runoff road crashes, earning them the nickname alarm clocks on the highway. And in some countries, engineers even tuned them into musical roads, where safety comes with a melody. Third brake light. Why do cars have a third brake light sitting high in the center? For decades, they didn't, and rear-end crashes were constant. In the 1970s, researchers in San Francisco ran an experiment. They installed a third light on 1,300 taxicabs. Taxis were perfect test subjects. They ran non-stop in heavy traffic. The results? Cars with the extra light had far fewer crashes. The NTSA found that the center high-mounted stop lamp cut rear-end collisions by 4 to 5%, just fractions of a second faster reaction time, translated into meters of stopping distance saved. By 1986, the US required them on all new cars. Europe followed in 1998. Today, that little red lamp glows worldwide. Small, almost invisible, yet saving thousands daily. Cat's eyes. One night in 1933, British engineer Percy Shaw saw two glowing eyes on a dark road. That spark of light gave him an idea. Roads should glow back at us. In 1934, he patented cat's eyes, small studs embedded in the road with reflective lenses set on flexible rubber. Headlights hit them, and they glowed like a cat staring back, showing the path ahead. Britain needed them desperately. Rural roads were unlit, and during World War II, the government turned off every streetlight to hide from enemy bombers. Cat's eyes became the nation's guide. Cheap, simple, life-saving. Millions were installed across the UK and then worldwide. 3-point seatbelt. Today, buckling up is second major. But before 1959, cars only had lap belts, straps that were often crushed instead of protected. They looked normal, even stylish. In truth, they were killers. That year, Volvo hired aerospace engineer Niels Bohlin. His design changed everything. The 3-point seatbelt. One strap across the chest, another across the lap, together spreading impact forces across the strongest parts of the body. Tests proved it cut the risk of death or serious injury by more than half. Then Volvo made a historic choice. They gave away the patent for free. Safety, they decided, should not be a trade secret. Today, every car carries Bohlin's design. It's one of the greatest life-saving inventions of the 20th century. Hazard flashers. There's a crash ahead. The car beside you hits a button. 4 lights flash in unison, warning everyone behind. You reach for the same button, but it's not there. That was reality before the 1960s. Hazard lights weren't required. Some cars had them, many didn't. At night, broken-down cars sat invisible on the roadside, waiting to be hit. After repeated tragedies and lawsuits, the U.S. Senate made hazard flashers mandatory in 1967. With one button, 4 lights blink together, an instant signal every driver understands. Emergency. Be careful. Today, it's one of the clearest languages on the road. Day-night rearview mirror. Blinding glare. You check your mirror, and the headlights behind scorch your eyes like a spotlight. For decades, this glare caused endless crashes. The answer was the day-night rearview mirror. A simple lever tilted the glass prism, deflecting glare while still showing what's behind. Patented in the 1940s, it appeared in American cars in the 1950s. The 1955 Ford Thunderbird helped popularize it. By the 1970s, it became a global standard. Flip that little tab at night, and you're using a decades-old invention born from something as small and dangerous as light.